Yahawashi, Rawchaa Yahawah, Rawchaa Yahawah, Rawchaa Yahawashi.
Also Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, builded the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man.
All right, Shalom to elect Israel, to the hopeful elect Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations, scattered across the four corners of the earth, want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who led me to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, be part of that number. Lord willing, us be edifying of those who fear in the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 42. Water for everybody coming in here and on the comment board. Bahasham, Atham. And it's been, close to a week or so since I done one of my children's videos. So I'm getting into one today. Lord willing, I'll be able to, tap into some articles later on after I get out of the plantation. But the Lord put the spirit on me to come deal with this. And let me just check real quick to make sure my stuff ain't lagging. Okay. Sounding good. All right. Yeah, sounding all right. Okay. But let me know if it starts doing it. Salakia, you know the internet every now and then goes wrong. But the title is, for this lesson, is we are Pickmin for the Lord, for the Lord's use. And, that's like a term for pick me. We're being used by the Lord. We're the Lord, we are vessels of the Lord, And when I was a lot younger, this was another video game that I played. And I did one with the last one I did was talking about Luigi's Mansion and about how you got to clean your house, right? Well, this is another video kind of like that. So Lord willing, is edifying to you children out there and to whoever else, might have children, this, help them, be edified and show that, a lot of these things that we see in the earth, they all portray back to the scriptures on how we are for the Lord. We're a body, and of course, us as followers that are not in GMS, we are outside looking in, trying to make ourselves useful for the body, of course. But, this is just to explain, what they are, what GMS is, what they do, they're a unit, and us who are clinging to the body, we are clinging to the body to be a part of that unit, so we're to be like-minded as them, and Yahawah Yahawashi will see your diligence, and Lord willing, he protects you in that time for doing so. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the flock. So we're going to get into this. And we're going to start right here. We're going to start and just show you a little bit of this. me get right here. Let me see which video I want to play first. Okay, so we right there. Okay, so we gonna start it off right here, and basically, in this game, okay, it's this little dude. He's he's in this chariot, which is a so-called UFO, right? And hold on.
Where the people are.
It's lock here for the infomercial. But he's in this UFO, and he crashes on this planet, okay? And he's got 30 days to basically rebuild his ship and get out of there before he loses, the oxygen in his suit. And, I kind of compare this to like the breath of life. He got the breath of life, but he's only got a period of time to execute his job. Like he's got a job to do, right? And, you can also look at it like this little guy who comes down. You can look at him like he's the leader, like he's Yahawashi, if I would say. Now it's not going to look like him, okay? So you got to pick out the bones. But basically, it compares to basically how Yahawashi uses us for his purpose. And also how, we were cast down to this earth to be reserved unto the day of judgment, okay? So I want to break some of this stuff down in the spirit, and Lord willing, it's edifying to you. It's not the most serious topic, but we're going to get into it for the children out there, and see what the Lord's saying about this is how it is, for the men of the Lord. We want to be useful to the Lord, not for our own purpose. So let's get started right here. Let's watch a little bit of it. Lord willing, it ain't going out weird. Okay. It's showing it. There you go, you see on the chariot. Right. See? Okay. Of course, it's going to be a little cheesy. Fall down to earth. You see how all this, all intact with this knowledge of Bahasham, Yahawashi, and our faith was scattered. We were scattered across the four corners of the earth, as a body, right? So then he crashed, whatnot, and now he out here, okay? He out here in hell, basically. And of course it looks cheesy and whatnot, but the point is I want to get to is that, he came down here for a specific reason like us. And it wasn't pretty, it didn't look nice, when we came back into our, our house. Okay? But we got to work together as a body to get back, to do what? Build our faith back up, So we go and see right there, he talk a little bit and whatnot. I want to see. Okay. So now he's got these little guys out here. Okay. And basically the whole game is basically you got to get.
So you think you know Wix? Do you really? First up, we've got
He's got to get
video
these
masks.
little. I'll try to speed it up a little bit because it was talking and stuff, but I just want to make a little point before I start putting in some precepts. So right here. Hold on. See, those are the little Pickmins. Let's go and talk and whatnot. All right. It says stranded. It said I'm stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive. Right. And that's how we are. We're on a toxic planet. It's full of wickedness, and we're trying to survive. But it says, yet I'm intrigued. See, so like he's still like excited to do the work, basically. And you know, this is how, you know, we're creatures to the Most High. Creature goes back to creation. And basically, you see how he says, I must research this fascinating creature. Doesn't the Lord try us out? He tests us out to see if we are useful. You see? And that's kind of how we are. We want to be useful for the Lord. You know? So I want to, I'm going to go a little bit more and I'm going to put in some precepts. So, you know, whatever. It's telling you how to play the game. Right? This dude going through all the damn shit. So just hold on. Give it a second. Just gonna show you. So see, now it's follow him around. That's how we are with Yahawashi. Wherever we go, we follow him around. See how he threw Yahawashi said, go over there and get that. His job, produce more fruit. He made 2 more of him. See, that's our job. We're supposed to go and shed light to the elect and produce more fruit. That's our job. See, he didn't, you know, he knew what to do. That's his purpose. See, but it takes time. See how he can't, it took him a second. It had to grow first. So, you know, whatever. He's going over there doing stuff. He tell him to go make more. See? Then he's going to come back over here. He's going to pull that one out the ground. See? That's how we are. Okay? And you can look at this little dude as like the elders. The elders came out and they started pulling Jake out the ground, out of this valley of dry bones. Started pulling us out of there. In Ezekiel chapter 37, he started pulling us out of here. And what do? You come and you get to work. You see? So I want to put in a couple precepts about this before we get started. And really, I'm going to dive into it and then I'm just show a little bit more videos and then we're going to go into some precepts and then we're going to be done. So, like I said, it took them a second to kind of get them to come about and do what they were supposed to do, right? So this is Sirach. Chapter 35, verse 20. But first off, when I was talking about how, you know, how it said, like, basically he's got 30 days to get that ship. And you can look at that ship as like, you know, your faith, to get that faith together, to get off this planet. Because that's what we're doing. We're gearing our faith together to have enough faith for the Lord to have mercy on us, to be pulled up in these chariots so we can get up out of here. Okay? After all that tribulation. And that's what this game is. Like, you go through a lot of stuff and you gotta, like, you know, you gotta deal with a whole bunch of various stuff to get your parts, get this faith to get out of there. Okay? So this is just to show that what we're doing has a time limit. So you want to have patience in learning, but you also want to be with haste at the same time. You don't want to just think like there's not a time limit. There is a time limit to how, you know, to how this process of becoming one with Yahawashi is. You know, you don't want to play around with it. You want to study. So Ecclesiasticus, the book of Barak, chapter 35, verse 20, mercy is seasonable in the time of affliction, right? And he was afflicted. He was cast down to the earth, you know, and he was down there trying to figure out how to get his ship back together so he can get off the planet. Because he's got that mask on his head because he can't breathe out there. Okay? So it's a seasonable time. We got a time period to get ourselves right with the Lord, right? As clouds of rain in the time of drought, right? Now we're going to go over here. Psalms chapter 137, verse 4, and it reads, how shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land, right? How are we going to do that? It has to be in order. How are we going to sing this song of Moses, the same one that saved us out of the wilderness last time? We're going to do it the same way, you know? We're going to do it in order. We're going to do it how the Lord said. You know, so we're gonna do it how the elders and apostles told us how to do it. That's how we're gonna do it, because they were the first ones who the Lord sprout up. You know, out of the ground. Jude chapter 1 verse 6. And this is to show that we were cast down here. So in the angels, which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he have reserved in the chains, in the everlasting chains under darkness until the judgment of the great day. And that's these bodies. Okay? So while we're down here, being reserved to see if we're going to, you know, receive mercy or judgment, you know, we have a time period to what, as men, we are to produce more fruit. So that's why you see the elders and apostles always doing the work. You see the brothers doing always the work, because that's our job. We want to bring forth more fruit and be useful to the Lord, so he can sprout up the rest of the elect. Okay, so they can do their purpose. So Ephesians chapter 6 verse 11, trying to make this quick. Hold on, put 2 P's by accident. Chapter 6 verse 11. And it reads, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand the wiles of the devil. And that's what he's doing. All these parts that he's got, that he's trying to put together in this ship, you know, he's trying to get all that together, but he can't do it alone. He needs to use somebody to do it. He's got us out here doing his work so he can assemble this body, you know, to the fullness. And once he sealed the elect, then we can leave. Okay? And that's what we're doing. We're putting on all that armor. We're putting on all the things that we need to be able to escape this planet, man, before judgment comes. Because he's got a certain day too. If he don't get off the planet, then judgment is going to come upon him, and he's going to die out there. You see? So Colossians chapter 3 verse 2, and it reads, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. So that's what he was doing. He got cast out and he was out there in earth and whatnot, but the whole time, as soon as he got up, his whole mindset was trying to get out of there. That was his whole mindset, trying to leave. Okay? And that's how we are. As soon as we came back and we came into the grace of Yahawashi, I was trying to learn this truth. Our mind has been set on leaving here. Okay? And that's how we know that the Lord has picked us, you know, to do this work. And it says many are called, a few are chosen, but I'm going to make that point in a second. You know, because when it comes down to it, everybody's chosen for something. You're either chosen not to be chosen, or you're chosen to be, you know, chosen. And you'll know that over time, but we'll get to that in a second. First, this is John chapter 17, verse 8. For I have given to them the words which thou gavest me, right? And they have received them, and have known surely that I came out from thee, and they that have believed that thou didst send me, right? And who's that? Those Pickmin, those men, okay, that are not asking questions and just doing what the Lord said do. Like them little things he was pulling out the ground, he was throwing and was like, go get this. He didn't even have to tell them. He just threw it at it, and it took it to the ship. It took it back over to the ship to make more fruit. That's all it did. That's what we're doing. You see? And, you know, I think I got one more precept I want to say right here. But, hold on. Right? So verse 9 says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world. See, so the Lord don't pray for everybody. He's only praying for the elect. The ones that are doing the work. And the ones that are clinging to them that are doing the work. Right? But for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. See, so there's these men that the Lord has chosen out of the world and picked to do this work. Okay? And we're going to prove in just a second that you ain't going to be doing this work unless he wants you to be doing the work. If he doesn't want you to be doing the work, you're not going to do it. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. We're going to start right here first. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. So we're resting in this truth, but we're not in a mind state of being comfortable here. Okay, we're trying to get out of here. Okay, and we're trying to make sure that we have all the parts we need, this faith, all the different levels of faith that the Lord has called us to have, but every man has a different measure of faith, to get out of here, right? Because it is polluted. It said this guy right here, the guy in this game, he's in a toxic land. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction, see? So he knows that that's not his rest. He's not trying to establish nothing there. He's trying to get his stuff built and get out of there, you see? So now we're going to do Ecclesiasticus, Book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse 32. And it reads, necessary patience in seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. But you don't want to be too, if you have a guide, you're not going to be in a position where you're just not meeting those requirements on time. It says there's necessary patience, but you're going to meet those requirements that the Lord wants you to do at a specific time. You're going to increase in this truth, So, with that guide, it's going to have you running into situations and Lord giving you the strength to solve those situations at the right time so you can understand, your job, your mission, okay, to execute, your purpose. To serve Yahawashi, whatever way he told you to do it, and to bring forth more fruit, believers. To bring forth more believers who are going to do what? Do their job. Okay, but we can't do this. The Lord has to make us do this. That's why it's called pick. I also said that we are pickmeats for the Lord. He picked us to do this, because if he did pick us to do this, we wouldn't be doing it. John chapter 15, verse 16. And it reads, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth what? Fruit, right? Bring forth believers, and that your fruit should remain, right? And whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. So it's all about asking for the Lord to give it according to his will, and he'll do it. Okay? I just want to make a couple more points, and then we're going to go back. I'm going to put a couple more things out and put a couple more precepts, and then I'm out of here. I'm trying not to make it too long. Acts chapter 7, verse 6. And it reads, and the Most High spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land. See, we in a strange land. And that they should bring them into bondage. Who's that? These other nations, starting with, first and foremost, Esau, Edom, so-called white man. That's the biggest one. And entreat them evil 400 years. Okay, you see, so we went through this time of evil, and you can look at that as like, back then it was a different time, but you can look at it as now that was that time of slavery, that we've been in from these devils, man. Okay, but he was talking about, like, he was telling the apostles that this stuff was going to happen, but they was going to have to come back and go through it, of course. So verse 7, and the nation whom they shall be in bondage will I judge. See, that's how we know the Lord is going to judge these nations for what they did to us, starting with Esau, even the so-called white man, said the Most High. And after that shall they come forth and serve me in this place. And that's what we're doing. We're serving the Lord in this place so he can bring judgment on them, and then they're going to be the servants. Okay? That's what it's coming down to. So after we do this work for the Lord and everything, we're going to get to be the rulers, okay? So don't think that this work is for nothing. Verse 8, and he gave him the covenant of circumcision, which means you're in the truth. And so, and also, it's talking about, in that time, it was talking about real circumcision too, talking about actually, trimming your rod. And so Abraham begat Isaac and circumcised him on the 8th day. That's our customs. And Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat 12 patriarchs to do what? This work. He picked certain people to do this work. Okay? That's my point. He picked certain people to do this work. I might read a couple more precepts. And the 12 patriarchs move with envy, so Joseph sold Joseph into Egypt, but the Most High was with him. See? So even though we go through these situations of tribulation, and we go through these things where we're afflicted, the Lord has chosen us to go through this fire. Okay? That's why we're going through stuff. Okay? And delivered him out of all of his affliction. but he can't deliver you out of afflictions unless you're in him. See, that's the only way we can get saved. And gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he made him governor over Egypt and all his house, of course, and that's the story, okay, of Joseph. Okay, but we don't want to go too far into it. I just wanted to make a point. The Lord chose certain men to go through these afflictions and deliver them out of them. So just because you're going through afflictions doesn't mean that the Lord's not dealing with you. It really means that the Lord is dealing with you if you're going through those afflictions, and he's also teaching you, your job, which you're supposed to be executing. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 21, if a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, right? And that's what we're doing. We're purging ourselves from wickedness and doing our job, teaching, edifying the flock, out here working, also in the world, but not of the world. We're working in the world, but we're not of the world, making yourself better use for the Lord, sanctified and meet for the master's use. And that word meet, that METT, means be useful for the master's use and prepared unto every good work. See? So that's what the Lord wants. He wants us to be useful for his purpose. Okay? And that's to what? Exalt himself among the heathen and to save the elect on this side. But on the other, after that, the 2/3 of our people will be saved too. Okay? They're going to come back in the kingdom through the elect. So that's why it's all about the elect doing this job right here. Because if they don't do this job, we're not going home. We're not going nowhere. We stuck here forever. Because that's what hell is, and that's the same thing of insanity. Insanity is like doing something thinking you're going to get a different result. No, the wages of sin are death, and we're bound to sin here. We're bound to sin here. We're going to go off. So if we stay here, what that mean? We got to keep coming back here forever and that's hell, man. Coming back here and living like you're going to make it and then die. That's hell, and that's what we've done every time, So that's why we need Yahawashi, because he's going to make us immortal. Why? Because he's going to give us this word, and we're not going to have to come back here and keep replaying this hell and keep playing this over and over again. So as you see, he's getting his workers ready. And that's how the elders are. They're like the overseers. They know where everybody need to be at in the body. You need to be moving this. I got these 3 dudes over here. All right, y'all come over here. Okay? So we're going to speed it up a little bit. And we're going to go right here. Just to kind of show you, how he uses these guys. Okay? Hold on. I want to make a point. Trying to speed it up. I got all these ads and whatnot. Hold on. Where is it at? Where's the point I want to get to? I had it where it stopped on it. But it's just to show, I want to make a small point. Because he's going to get him to do something. But he had to have so many workers with him to do it. So it took time for him to, complete what the Lord said. But they're doing it. See, they're all doing the same thing. They're producing more fruit. Every single one of them. They ain't arguing about it. They're just doing it. Some of them is working, and that see how that job, it take 10 of them to do that, but he only got 5 of them. They ain't complaining about it. They just working. They bringing it over there. See? They ain't complaining about it. They getting it done. Boom. Well, actually, that was 10 of them working on one thing. Not 5. I'm tripping. But I want to get to a point. And they do the job. Okay, it's just, just a little text in a second. See? They all working on it together. That's how we are. We're doing the same purpose. Okay? And you got Yahawashi directing everybody. You got the whistle. He like, go over here, dude. We're working for the Lord. Now I want to make one little part to kind of show that you see how you got the blue looking ones. So I want to point out something. Okay, they're all on the same accord. They're all doing what? They're all doing the will of the Lord. You know, I want to point out some things, just a couple things before we get into the rest of this video. I'm gonna show like 10 more seconds of this little game, and then we're gonna get out of here. But I want to put in some presets. So it reads, "For them will I turn the people to a pure language, and they that they might." This is Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 9. That they may all call upon the name of the Lord to serve Him with one consent. See, so they have one consent, one language. They have one understanding. We gotta help Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi build this body so we can get out of here. This is building the third temple. Okay, we're building that third temple right now, and we're a spiritual brick for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You see, so we got to work every day, because if not, then who's building the house? Who's building the temple if we're not building it? Because it said the kingdom of heaven is in us. You know, so we got to be building on us, because that's building the temple. You know, and we pray to be a useful brick, because if that brick don't hold the wall, then they gonna throw the brick out and put the right brick in there. So we want to be useful. So this is John chapter 10 verse 27. "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them." This is Yahawashi speaking, "and they follow me." You see how he was whistling? They was coming over there. They wasn't arguing. They wasn't asking questions. He threw something to them to do a task. They was like, "We're gonna do it." They wasn't asking no questions. Okay? And that's how we are with the Lord. We don't ask questions. We just do what He tells us to do. Matthew chapter 22 verse 9. And it reads, "Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many ye shall find, bid them to the marriage." So you can think of the Lord as like He's making us do that. He's like saying, I picked y'all, and He throw us out on the highway, and what? We're working. We're working to do what? Bring forth fruit. And bring it back to what? To the body. That's what we're doing. Every day. You know? And we also do it on the internet as well. Verse 10. "So those servants that went out to the highways and gathered together as many as they found." See, they try to get everything they could. Both good and bad and good. Sometimes you'll go bring forth some people who weren't meet for repentance. Sometimes you bring back some bad fruit. But they went and bought everything they could. They was like, He said, bring back fruit. It didn't say bring back only good fruit. It said bring back fruit. And that's what they did. They just bring everything. Right? And the wedding was furnished with guests. And the bad are basically the 2/3 of our people. So that's why we talk to 2/3 and try to warn them. Okay? And try to bring them to the marriage. Okay? Because that's just part of it. You know, we're going to tell everybody. You know? Unless the Lord puts a spirit on us, like, well, that one's not going to wake up. Don't tell them. But in the same way, we're still warning them, because we're doing it on the internet. If they choose not to watch it, that's on them. We still warn them. Verse 11. "And when the king came to see the guests, he saw there a man that which not had on a wedding garment." See, they didn't have on that apparel, that spiritual apparel, to know how to do their job for the Lord. Right? Verse 12, and he said unto them, "Friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment?" And he was speechless. See? He's like, "Why ain't you coming here acting like the rest of them putting in this work?" They was speechless. And everybody in the body, you know, has a job, you know, and also there's helpers of the body. They have a job to help the body do their job. Verse 13, "And said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him in the outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth." So if you don't do your job, you know, and this is mainly talking to the men first and foremost, because we're the ones who are leading, okay, to this job. But then you have the women behind and the children, okay? They have a job too. They're to help aid the ministry, you know, to the best of their abilities, whatever the Lord tells you to do. It could be making garments, it could be whatever, okay? You could go bring forth, you know, you a child, you can go tell another little child, hey, get your stuff right. You know, make sure you know, at least you're obeying your parents, you know, stuff like that. Not thinking wickedly, not doing wicked things. You know, you as a child, you can bring forth, little baby fruit. You can go bring somebody else your age in the truth and have them be like you. You see? Verse 14, but for many are called, but few are chosen. See? So few are chosen. So the Lord only has picked a certain amount of people to do this work. Okay? And the ones that are doing it are the ones that the Lord called. Because it said that He's not going to have nobody doing this work. Okay? He's not going to have nobody doing this work that's not supposed to be doing it. Okay? The only way that we can call on the Rawchaa Qadash is through him. And I want to pull this out. We're going to make that point in just a second in this next precept. So 1 John chapter 2, verse 19, they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, what? They would did the job. They would have no doubt continued with us, what? Doing the work. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. Okay? And that's the whole point. You know, if you go get into this truth and you start doing this vow, you make this vow to the Lord, you know, to help bring forth more believers, you know, because it talks about how the older woman can teach the younger woman. And that's, you know, the same way with the children. You can lead the children to the men of the Lord and say, you got to listen to them. That's you bringing forth fruit. So it's all something that we can do. Romans chapter 12, verse 1, I beseech you therefore, brethren. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't even finish reading that. Like I said, hold on. Bear with me. Like I said, but they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us, right? And that's what the Lord is doing right now. He's showing you this ain't a good fruit. Throw that out. This is a good one. Keep that one. That's what he's doing right now. And we're doing this work. We bringing up whatever we can find. Because we know there ain't that many laborers. It said the laborers are few. So we know that we got to sometimes bring more than, you know, more than one. Try to bring forth whatever you can. You know, when it comes to this truth. Not saying that you just go out there and tell everybody. You know, be circumspect and use the spirit. But, you know, whatever the Lord puts a spirit on you to be like, yeah, I can warn them and tell them they seem like they're a humble person. They might listen. You know, we're trying to bring forth whatever we can to the Lord because the Lord might use it. So Romans chapter 12, verse 1, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye may present your bodies as a living sacrifice. And that's how we're a living sacrifice. We go out in the middle of this dangerous, toxic world, and we are trying to warn Jake. We're trying to help shed light to the elect, okay, knowing that we could die, okay? Holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. This is our reasonable service. That's why when we see the little Pickmin, he tell them to do something, they ain't whining about it. They just do it. They just do it and they bring it back to the fathership and produce more fruit to do more work. Romans chapter 12, verse 2, and be not conformed to this world. But and what's this world? They selfish. All they do is think about themselves. They're not thinking about the body of Yahawashi. They're not thinking about that they can actually be an asset to the body. They're thinking about their own, you know, worldly desires. But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. See, we've been renewed to understand that this work is all that matters. That ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. Right? Verse 3, this is the point I wanted to make earlier. Verse 3, for I say, through the grace given unto me, we were given this grace, right? This grace of faith, of understanding our purpose. To every man that is among you, think not to think himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as the Most High have dealt to every man the measure of faith. See, so we all have a measure, we all have a specific task, and some will be require more than others. So just because somebody has more higher tasks than you doesn't mean that the Lord's not dealing with you. That's just his measure that he gave you, and you're supposed to do it. And you never know. If you do it, he might give you more. So you want to just make sure you complete whatever task that the Lord tells you to do. It could be something very small. But he said we're supposed to judge even in the smallest matters. You know, so you don't want to just take something lightly just because it's not a big deal to everybody. You want to take that and put your all into it. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 3. I said 21st. Hold Chapter 12, verse 3. Okay. And it reads, and this is another point I wanted to make, how I said that that you can't even be calling on Bahasham and Yahawashi unless he wanted you to. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2, wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Spirit of the Most High, which is the Qadash, the Holy Spirit, calleth Yahawashi accursed. Okay. And that no man can say that Yahawashi is the Lord but by the Holy Spirit, the Qadash. So you couldn't even be calling on Yahawashi unless the Spirit was dealing with you. So that's how we know that the Lord has called us to do this work. But how do we know if we're chosen? We won't know until the end, until we finish the job, right? So that's the point I wanted to make, but I'm going to read just a little bit more to show that there's different parts of the body to do different things. So verse 4, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. So you're going to have some brothers good at this. You're going to have some other brothers good at this. And you know it's going to be balanced, right? And there are differences of administrations, okay? And this is just like this game. I'm going to show you the different administrations at these little Pickmin they do. These little things that they do. Some of them can do things that the other one can't do, you know? But they don't vex each other, just like we seen in that video talk about Judah won't vex Ephraim and Ephraim won't vex Judah. The northern kingdom won't vex the southern kingdom. So just because the southern kingdom can do something better than you, or the northern kingdom can do something better, you don't vex means to like you don't dislike them, like you don't envy them. You're like, yo, man, I'm glad my brother here. I can't do that part. He can do it. The water, Yahawashi outside, he's here to do that part. I can't do that part. That's how we supposed to look at each other. We a body. You see? So the same Spirit, and there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord, right? Just like this, you see how they had the yellow Pickmin and the blue ones and the red ones. But they had what? They was all following the shepherd, okay? They all following the shepherd with the whistle. He over there blowing the whistle. He telling them to go do stuff. Okay, and they not mad at each other. They're all working together. Okay, that's how we are with the Lord. Okay, and there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh in all. So He's got everybody in a specific position. Okay, and He wants you to be there, or He wouldn't have you calling on His name. He wouldn't have you calling on Yahawashi. He's not going to have you calling on Yahawashi for no reason. You know, it's, you know, under the elders and apostles, a great millstone, because there's only one body. You can't have 5 different bodies. That's why we don't watch these other camps, right? We don't watch these other groups. So verse 7, but the manifestation of the Spirit was given to every man to profit withal. And how are we profiting? Because we're doing the work of the Lord. Verse 8, for to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom. See, right? Who has the word of wisdom? The elders and apostles, you know. To another, the word of knowledge by the same Spirit. See, so you got elders and apostles that some of them are, you know, they're specifically designed to do this. Some other elders and apostles are designed to do this. And this is why how we have order in the body, because they have every single aspect. We have leaders in every aspect of the body. And then you have the workers under that, and we're all working. You see? So don't think yourself as not useful to the Lord if you just at the bottom, you know, like a follower like me. I'm at the bottom. Be thankful that you're here and that your work is going to mean something. These people out here, they work ain't going to mean nothing. So it says, for one is given by the Spirit a word of wisdom, to another word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit. Some brothers are very skilled at having faith. To another gifts of healing. Some brothers know how to use herbs, stuff like that, right? By the same Spirit. To another, the working of miracles, right? To another, prophecy. See, some of them just know how to tell the story. Some of them's like, we're really good at telling you what's finna go down. To another, discerning the spirits. One that's like, yeah, that's Jake. Nope, that's Esau. You see? There's those ones in the body too. And there's leaders in every single one of these aspects. And that's who we call the elders and apostles. To another, diverse kinds of tongues. You know, ones who can teach different languages. To another, the interpretation of tongues, the ones who are very good at breaking it down. But all these worketh that one and the self-same Spirit, that body, dividing to every man severally as he will. So the Lord gave us a specific task. He gave us specific roles and specific jobs. Okay, so even if you're an Akwath, you know, a woman, in this truth or a child in this truth, there's something that you can do to bring forth more believers, fruit. Bring more people that, or younger women, like you, or maybe you a child and you meet and got another homeboy at school or something, and he's got a contrite, which is a humble spirit, and if the Lord puts a spirit on you, say, hey, this is something that the Lord's been showing me. You believe in the Lord, right? Well, look at this, and you might bring forth more workers to this truth, because the Lord's work is very diverse, and of course, it's given to the brothers. But you can bring people to the workers, if you're not been designed to be a worker. That can even be work for the Lord too. That's just my point I want to make in all this. But I want to get right here. And, we're going to go right here. I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit more. And I'm going to put in some precepts and we're going to get out of here. But I just want to put in a point on this, okay? Because when you look right here, you see how you had the yellow ones and the red ones and the blue ones, right? Well, all of them have different jobs. So when you look right here, the yellow ones, they're good at smashing electrified gates or directing currents. See, so that's their job. They can't do what the other ones can do, but they do their job. You see? So just because you can't do what the other Pickmin can do your job. Whatever your job is, do that real good and get better at it. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just do you. What's the red Pickmin? What can they do? They fire resistance. See, they can go through fire, okay? And they strong. They got strong attack power, okay? See, they attack stuff when it comes to battling stuff, okay? So, they can all be used for something else. Then what's the blue ones? What are they? They water resistant. So that means what? They can swim in the water. The fire ones can't go in the water. They'll drown. You see? Transport and treasure, whatever. All of them have different specific movements in that one body of people, and they all standing together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they all grouped up. And it even got this one thing in the game where if you blow the whistle a certain way, all of them will split up. Like, all the red ones will go with the red ones, all the blue ones will go with the blue ones, and the yellow ones will go to the yellow ones. So you say, I don't want to bring the red ones over here because the blue ones can't go. So you'll grab all the blue ones and be like, all right, now you can go in the water with me. We can go get this part so we can go build this temple. Okay? So that's the point I'm trying to make. Sometimes you ain't going to be able to do everything all the other brothers do. But don't worry about that. Just do what the Lord. Just do what the Lord told you to do. It's for the body. It's for the whole body as a whole. Michael Jordan, he might, make 1,000 shots, but if the Bulls win, the Bulls win. Not Michael Jordan. The whole team win. That's my point. So, you see how he's got all of them? You see how he's got all of them together? See? And they're listening to him. See? Whatever he says go to the left. They all go to the left. See how they live close to the water because some of them can't go in the water, so they'll drown. Right? Now, you see over here, you see how it's got the fire? He said, oh, y'all got to get over to the right. See, one of them even fell. He's like, he got up, he coming back. See? And that's how we are. Sometimes we got to listen to the Lord, man. You see how he's separating them all? See, now he's got them. Because he needs something specific to do. See? Get over here and work on this. Now you blue ones come up. Oh, wait, never mind. He's going to put them all over there. Said a couple of y'all, but I need you to come over here with me. I got something specific I need you to do. Because there's water over here, see? And there's a part in there. See? It's like, all right, I need y'all to come over here because they can't go in the water. See? Found something over here. Something don't mean you ain't important. He had all them other ones. This is the only place where y'all can go. That's just like the elders and apostles. They're dividing us and making sure we'll do specific things, through the Spirit. So we can get this temple built so we can go home. Okay? So I want to put in a couple more precepts, and shalom to everybody on the comment board. Yahawashi, Barak, Atham. Lord willing, it was edifying to you. I'm trying to keep it simple, and I know it's a very small matter, but these are things that, the Lord puts the Spirit on me to deal with, because I'm just, I'm not even in the body. I'm just a follower. I ain't nobody special, and I don't want nobody to think I'm special. I'm just another Pickmin. I'm a pick-me. That's it. Ain't no more important than anybody else in the truth, And it kind of gives you a lesson also. Don't underestimate your brothers, or don't underestimate nobody in the truth, You never know what the Lord could do for them, could use them to be useful for them. We want to help people feel like they can be useful to the Lord and to strive towards being that, and of course there's rebuke and whatnot. I've been rebuked before too, It's just part of it. We got to be corrected to be right. We was in a toxic land. You can't be the only believer that came into the body and you just ain't toxic at all. Like, you got to get that stuff purged out of you. So I just want to make a point. In Revelation, it talks about the 12,000 sealed. This is 144,000 elect men. They're all of the elect, and they are workers too. They all work for the Lord, and the Lord has a very specific job for them. And as you read down, you go right here to verse 9. And after this, behold, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, all nations. That's how we know that Jake's going to look like all different nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, still before the throne, before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, talking about, they had this truth, and they purged themselves from this world, and palms in their hands. And palms basically means psalms in their hands. Palms in their hands, which is victory. Okay, and cry with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. So those are your honorable multitude. That honorable multitude is the ones that follow this 144,000 men who the Lord has chose to begin this work. And those people are clinging to the body. They're helping the body. They're doing all those types of things. Okay. So just because you might not be one of these men doesn't mean that the Lord can't use you. Okay. Everybody is specifically, who's came into this truth, and has been following and been faithful and corrected themselves to the best of their abilities and take heed to themselves. The Lord's got to be using you, because it already said that the Lord, the only way you can call on Yahawashi is through the Qadash, through the Holy Spirit. So if you truly are calling on the Lord Yahawashi, then more than likely the Lord's using you. That's all I'm saying. He's using you for something. And just because somebody else ain't paying attention to it doesn't mean that he ain't using you. It's not about what people is paying attention to, what you're doing. It's not about that. It's about you doing your job right, so we can go home. We're ready to get out of here. So I'm going to read a little bit of John chapter 15, and it reads, I am the true vine. This is Yahawashi speaking. And my Father is the husbandman, right? He's the one who owns the vineyard where we're all working at. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. So we want to be, out here putting in this work and doing our job. Because if we don't bear no fruit, he going to take us out of this truth. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it. Right? What means what? He fix it. He prune it. He cut out the weeds from around it. He water it. If it's some dead leaves on the side of it, and the tree can still survive, the leaf can, the branch can still survive with those few little dead, leaves on it, which is your old self. He cut them off so the fruit can, it won't damage the rest of the branch, right? That it may bring forth more fruit. So he's fixing us so we can do what? Do the work. Go do the job and go bring more people. So now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken you. See, this is how we're cleansed. Okay, through these trials and through these words. Okay, because the Lord is basically these words in the flesh. Okay. So abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself. See, we can't do this on our own, except it abide in the vine, right? The source, Yahawashi. So you can't bring forth nobody if you ain't of Yahawashi. And you can't be calling on Yahawashi if you ain't either. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. Verse 5, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. So that's how we know that the Lord's got to be using us. Why? Because we doing something. Okay, we came to this truth. We listening. We sticking to this faith. And we're doing the work. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. See, there's some men, their job is just to gather the other ones, in the spirit, and cast them into that fire, that judgment, and they are burned. That's 2/3 of our people. And how are we doing that? By warning them and they not taking heed. And we go over there and say, "Oh Lord, this is the bad fruit." He go, "All right, I'm gonna throw them out." You see, and that's all of us doing that work, right? Verse 7, because you tell somebody the truth and they don't take heed, that's what you're doing. That's part of your job that you're doing. If ye abide in me, you helping getting this ministry out there is basically what I'm saying. So if ye abide in me and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. And we know that you can't come in this truth unless the Lord, brings you into this truth, And if you go out there and you go warn somebody, that's of the Lord too. He's got you doing that. So just stay in your prayers and trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord that He's using you for a better purpose. And just, don't think that your work is being unaccounted for. The Lord sees what you're doing. So if ye abide in me and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. And what do we want? We want to give the sheep sound doctrine to the best of our abilities. We want to be useful to the Lord, and we want mercy, right? Verse 8, herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples, right? And I want to go look up this word, because I haven't looked up a lot of words this video. I'm going to look up at least one. Okay, it's really already went longer than I wanted it to, but y'all know me, I usually be about an hour. Hold on. Why ain't this stuff popping up? Okay, let me go pull it up. Bear with me. Okay. Go to 1 John or John chapter 15 verse 8. That's where we want to go. All right. Says, so shall ye be my disciples, right? What's a disciple? What is that? And we know this is talking about the men first and foremost, but if you're not qualified to be a disciple, what are you supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be helping the disciples do the job. And that's how we all be, applicable to either being part of the body or clinging to the body, okay? But either one of them is good. It's not bad that you cling to the body. That's not a bad thing. There's an honorable multitude who the Lord mentions in a whole chapter of the Bible and says, it says they are chosen by the Lord, okay, to be that. So it's not bad being that. See? What it say? A learner, pupil, disciple, see? I'm a learner.
Strong's G 3101. Mathetes.
I'm a learner. Y'all learners. We all learn from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And we want to be counted as disciples when we get to the end of this thing. Us men out there, or helpers of the disciples. One of the two. We want to help this cause so we can get out of here. So I got one more precept and then I'm out of here. I didn't try to make it too long. I didn't try to make it too, diverse. Try to just make it real simple and just to, exhort, which means like to warn, or it also says, when you look at that word, it says like invitation, to continue in the faith, keep pushing, just because ain't nobody noticing what you're doing don't mean that the Lord don't notice. He know what you're doing, so just keep doing it. So I want to put this out there and then we're going to close out. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 20. But now are they many members, but yet but one body, and that's talking about all Israel, 33% of Israel, the hopeful elect right now that we're hoping to be the elect of that number. You know, there's going to be more clingers than the leaders. Okay, there's only 144,000 men out here who are the leaders. So the rest of us, if we're not of that number, we're going to hope to be part of the honorable multitude, which is a number that can't be numbered. So you got a really good shot if you do your job. Verse 21, and the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee. See? So you can't just be like, oh, I don't need the blue Pickmin. We don't need them. Yeah, you do, because they got to go in the water. And the blue Pickmin can't be like, I don't need the fire ones, because they the only ones that can go where the fire's at. You see? That's kind of what, I got out of that, concerning this little game. But it's just to show, like, this is how we are as a we want to be like this as a unit to the Most High, And of course, I'm not comparing the word to this game. I'm really comparing the game to the word. Like, everything that we see that looks like a simple matter, it goes back to this truth and how serious this operation that is going down with Great Millstone. So, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you, right? And that's the same thing as Judah shall not vex Ephraim, Ephraim shall not vex Judah. You see, Judah has the head roll, but they're not vexing Ephraim because they know that there's certain things that Ephraim can do that we can't do. It said Issachar was given the discerning of the signs of the times. They didn't give that. He didn't give that role to Judah. Only Ephraim can do that. Only Issachar could do that. So that's why everybody has a specific role in this thing, and it's all to glorify the Lord, not us. Verse 22. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. See? So just because you ain't the head runner or the most viewed or everybody's paying attention to you doesn't mean that, you're not necessary. You are necessary. That's why the Lord has got you calling on his name. There's something necessary he wants you to do that other people can't do. That's why he hasn't got them doing it. He's got you doing it. Verse 23, and those members of the body which think to be less honorable, right? There's sometimes you get this truth and be like, yeah, I ain't nobody. I ain't, right? And it's good to have that lowly mind state because the Lord helps those who are weak. So it's not nothing wrong with it, but it's just showing you this is how the Lord thinks about it. So which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor. That's how the Lord thinks about things. And our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness, right? So just like I was talking to my elder earlier today, talking about how I might be the toe, but when if a door is closing and you try to stop the door, you gonna stop it with your head or you gonna stop it with your toe? No, your head gonna tell the toe, hey, stop the door, or tell the arm and the toe. So it's all a unit working as one to get out of here. That's my whole point. I'm gonna read two more precepts and then we out of here. For our comely parts have no need, but the Most High have tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked. Because he goes to the ones who are weak and he strengthens them. So, the ones that lack, don't, just because you might be lacking or you struggling, just wait on the Lord. He's going to come, he's going to fix you. Just keep calling Yahawashi and keep doing better, to the best of your abilities to serve this body, okay, that we clinging to right now. We don't know if we are part of the elect. We don't know. But we're clinging to what we know his governing body is, which we know is Great Millstone. If you don't think it is, if you don't think they're the governing body of Israel, then that means what? The Lord doesn't want you to call on Yahawashi, because that's who we learn them names from, man. Verse 25, that there should be no schism in the body, but the members should have the same care for one another. So my whole point is just, don't underestimate nobody and, always look at, in a way of a humble spirit to the best of your ability. Some of us are more austere than others, but just try to look at it, other people in this truth that are striving to be one with the Lord. We try to encourage y'all more than anything. Okay. We're not trying to, make you feel like you not, we trying to bring forth fruit. We're trying to bring forth believers. That's what we want to do. That's our job. He said all that things he said, get yourself together and bring me more fruit. Bring me more believers. That's why we work so diligent and strive, you know. So that's why you can understand there might be a brother be like, man, I don't get a lot of views and be feeling down and stuff, but don't worry about it, because the Lord is going to take those bodies, that part more honorable. Because why? Because they doing the work and not even getting no recognition, and Yahawashi hasn't even gotten recognition. So just keep your faith, and just because you ain't getting noticed don't mean the Lord don't notice you. This is the whole point of it, you know. And we're a body. We're moving together. And when we get home, we'll all be happy together. Lord willing, that'll be soon. So shalom to elect Israel, to the hopeful elect Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who led me to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord, willing to be part of that number. Lord, willing us be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 42. Wa abab abal. Lord, willing us is edifying to y'all out there. Bahasham Atham. Anybody coming on the common board, and you know, Lord willing to you, Lord willing is edifying to you children out there, and you know, also, you know, any of the Akim that come across, you may have, you know, children around your area. Maybe this will be edifying to them. You know, that's why the Lord's got me doing these little children's videos. You know, so you know, if you know y'all, you know, have any doubts, just, you know, the Lord's not about doubt. Just keep your faith. And don't worry about what everybody else doing. Do your job, and the Lord is going to honor you for that when we get to the other side. Kwame Yasharala, Shalom.